Hello and welcome back to KlineStudios art lesson. This is number 7. Last week we had done our wonderful line, grayscale here. And we're going to use this as a reference for what we're drawing now. The other objects, still life objects we drew, had just a light to dark, front to back, cylindrical shapes. We're going to continue with cylinders, but this time we're going to do a paper towel. No, actually, toilet paper roll. Okay? Yes, we all use it. Don't be embarrassed. Okay. Now, the reason we're doing a toilet paper roll is because it's a cylinder within a cylinder, right? You get the middle roll and then the outer cylinder here. So what's going to happen is back here will be the lightest, this will be the darkest, and then everything in between. This will be slightly darker than back here and slightly lighter than the front that is dark. So basically it's going to be going from light, slightly darker than that, to the darkest. Just like our grayscale that we did last week. Okay, pulling this out, right? I'm going to turn it this way now. That's it. Okay, so this is the front of the toilet paper roll. And then the next front of the inside cylinder within the toilet paper roll, the cardboard part. Then the back of that cardboard piece. And then the very back of the toilet paper roll, which is the lightest. That's why we have this scale. Okay? So, what we're going to start with is, again, a can shape. We're going to ignore the middle for now and just draw a short can shape, or for the outside of the toilet paper roll. So let's begin. I start with a larger oval at the top. And again, you want to keep it light. Just go around and around until that shows up. Once it shows up, you draw 2 straight sides up and down, or up and down until it shows up. Same on the opposite side. Because again, we're just doing a can to start with. Once that shows up, we want to do a matching oval at the bottom, just like we did at the top. Around and around. And remember, you're drawing so lightly, you're piling lines on top of each other till it shows up, and if you make a mistake like this, you don't notice it. Now, this is a very light can shape, which you probably can't see well in the camera at this moment. Once I have that can shape, as I do here, I'm going to change the weight of the line, just like we did with the can and the earlier earlier art lessons. I'm going to rock back and forth and get shorter and shorter until the front of it gets darker. And repeat the process, again, not pressing down, just light lines building up on top of each other. And then stop. And it should start to come out three-dimensionally a bit. I'm going to do it one more time for the camera to make it more obvious. And plus, we're going to have a cylinder within it, so it's good to exaggerate it a little bit. Now I'm going to do the same exact thing for the bottom one. And I'm going to kind of move through this as quickly as possible. Alright, and again you can stop, pause the video at any time, or do it along with me. And I want to do this over and over until it matches the oval that I have above. Okay, now I want to do the sides. Sides are medium, right? They're going to match the edge that they're touching of the ovals. You go up and down until it's medium and stop. Up and down until it's medium and then stop. Okay, so I have a can. Now what I want to do is the cylinder within the can we just did, or cylinder we just did, the wider one. So I'm going to do a smaller oval. Now what's different about the smaller oval when I do this is I'm going to go around and around until the back of it is darker than the back of this one because it's closer to us. And I want it to be in the middle. So re-grip my pencil there. We go around and around until the back of it is slightly darker. The back I have here. And then stop. And now I'm going to do the same thing for at the bottom, but to keep it centered, I want to draw my line straight up and down first. Right? And the other one. Once they show up, I stop. And now I'm going to do the cylinder, or the oval, sorry, at the bottom of the middle cylinder, which should match the one above. So again, I go around and around until the top of this oval is slightly darker than the very back or top of the bigger oval. The whole thing is slightly darker. Once it is, I stop. Now I have to rock back and forth and change the weight of the line toward the front or bottom of the ovals. Now, back and forth, back and forth. Now here's the trick. I do not want to do it too much or it'll end up as dark or darker than this. This needs to stay the darkest. So once it shows up the way I want, I stop. Doesn't matter if you do the top one or bottom one first, because they're both supposed to be identical. Round and around. And then I stop. Now the interesting thing is the lines on the side of this cylinder are the same tone as the ones on this cylinder. Doesn't make a difference because the sides cut through in the same plane all the way across. So I'm going to draw up and down here until it's that medium tone that matches these lines. And up and down here until it matches those lines. Now, as you'll see, my toilet paper rolls a wee bit askew because I'm obviously very close to this drawing board, but what can you do? I think you get the point. So that concludes this lesson, and lesson number 8 will actually be drawing multiple still life objects, and again showing the same depth, lighter farther away, darker it is as it gets closer, with multiple objects. And we'll have to use our grayscale. Alright, see you in the next lesson.